So this one's either going to be a gem or a disaster. What do you say, eh? We're right on the line here, boys.
Never be a disaster. Come on.
Let's get her going. Qeason, number 6.
Yeah.
Qeason, number 6. And beautiful, slightly cloudy Doha, Qatar.
The Pearl, Doha, Qatar.
During Ramadan.
Yeah, Ramadan.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Gregor. So, what are we talking about? What's going on in the league? What's happening?
We had a bit of an eventful week this week. We don't want to be beating a dead horse, to speak, but we do always kind of revert back to the same nucleus of talk. And this week's talk was the stumble. Now I wouldn't say a stumble of the Kings. I mean, the Kings lost their first game last Friday. We spoke about that. So they were up against in a rematch against the Cats on Sunday, and they sought retribution, and retribution is what they received. They were able to come back and pull an 8-2 victory on the Ice Cats. They dominated that game and sought revenge and got revenge for their loss on Friday.
So basically, talk about the league. As much as we're happy the Kings have lost and are they vulnerable, whatever. They are currently plus 50 on the goals against. They are 10 points clear of the rest of the league in terms of points scored, and on any other thing it's just that their domination has maybe seen a little bit of a dip.
A little bit of a lull, but it had to happen because it's a long season.
They were perfect. They were pretty good.
So they reap what they sow, and they had subs going for most of the year so far. And now the last couple of games, they weren't able to acquire as many subs as they have in the past. So consequently, the games are tougher, and everybody is up for them. So they were able to come back down to the pack, so to speak. So that's where we're at on that.
And today, they were playing in their game. They were playing in today. They looked at the beginning. They looked slightly vulnerable, and then you remember how good they can be. And when they got Benz and Hayes in the back, and Yuri doing things up the front.
So today's game, they were back in the saddle, shall we say, and they had Benz going on the back end with Mr. Hayes, and they had Yuri. Krinkenhoff, I think his name is pronounced Krinkenhoff, something like not to be confused with Victor Tinkenhoff, but Krinkenhoff. And Yuri had a big game. Yuri had 5 and 3, if I'm not mistaken, 5 goals, 3 assists, and Mr. Hayes had 4 goals, 2 assists. So they got big minutes, big points from those 2 star players, and good play from the back end from Mr. Benz, and as always. And they were able to dethrone the Silver Surfers today.
Yuri, not to blow smoke up you, but you were on one of those breaks today. I was reffing, and you scored, and I pulled the puck out of the net, and I said to Farid, I said, "That's gotta suck," and he said, "Yep, that's probably the most this is gonna end badly moment in the league when Yuri's coming at you with time and space, because." Having Benson Hayes allows him to be broken in ways that I don't think other teams would be able to do. But if he can get one-on-one with that last defenseman on that blue line.
Yeah, Yuri is probably one-on-one, probably there with Jesse and Peter Kostanix with the Kings. As a one-on-one threat, he can take it to anybody at any time.
Yuri did this one today where you go between the legs and then put it up
Yeah, he did the what do they call that?
That's the first time I've ever seen that in real life in person. He did the dun. Did he score? I don't know if he scored.
No, he scored. He didn't score, but it was a nice move. That was a nice move. So let's talk a little bit about the early game.
Let's talk about us.
Yeah, talk about us. I guess we were playing the early game versus the Ice Cats, and so much often is the case, it's usually a battle of who has the better subs. And in this case, I think we came out on top with we were able to acquire the services of Ben Storek, who plays for the Oil Cats, and he so graciously filled in for people that we were missing. We were missing Jason George on the back end, so Ben's was able to fill in adequately, even better than adequately. He was really good for us in the
Nothing
early
wrong
game.
with Ben's as a sub, that's for sure.
And we were still missing the services of our teammate Peter Gagior. He's still out with his back injury, so hopefully at some point in the season we'll be able to retain the services of Mr. Peter, Hungarian Peter, in the near future. Hopefully that'll
Come back to the fold, Peter.
We'll try to get you in. Hungarian goulash on the menu. Let's do it,
buddy. Whatever you need.
So we played a good game. We won 13-6. They got out to a 3-0 lead, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, it was 3-0. Yeah, and we were a little bit discouraged at the time, but I knew that we would settle down and Mr. Yesse would probably come to the fold and right the ship, so to speak. So and he did. Yesse had a big game as always. Big game offensively. I believe he had
him and
10
Will
points.
Were...
He had 6 and 4, 6 goals, 4 assists. And his line mate Will Dandino, numero Van Sank, 25. Will had 6 goals and 1 assist. So they carried us. So
if you look at the standings, now we'll put it up here. If you look at the standings, you can see that we have catapulted, and the two, Will and Yesse, are now at the top of the league. 1 and 2.
Yesse and Will are number 1 and 2. Will surpassed Johnny Finnegan on Dune Bashers, I believe.
And he had a good game in the middle of the week too, right?
Yeah, Johnny had a good game against the Kings, and we never talked about that. They beat the Kings 7-3. Yes. So the Kings actually had 2 losses this week, and so that was 7. I think it was 7-3.
Something like that.
7-3, if not mistaken. We could be,
Well, we'll put up a score up here.
Corrected, and in that game, I think both John Finnegan and Charles Fullerton had big games. Johnny had 3 and 1, and I believe Charles had 2 goals, 2 assists in that game. And they were able to beat the Kings for the second time, or their second defeat in 3 days or 3 games. And
I ref that game.
They won 7-3. So that's where we stand right now. We're getting more.
7-2.
We're getting more input in from the
Gallery,
from the Peanut Gallery here, and they're telling us it was 7-2, and not 7-3. Is that right? Okay, so we
stand, a lot of big
corrected.
Scores this week. A lot of
big scores.
Right.
We've had a lot of games that were close up until this past week, and now it seems like we've gone the other end of the spectrum again now, where there's a few blowouts. So
we'll put the scoring leaders up, and I think that you'll see that the cream is rising to the top. There's a bunch of guys that are starting to pile on the points, and then there's the rest of us.
So you may wonder what Derek and I, Beggs and I, were adorning today. We have the Suomi Finnish hockey jerseys. We're paying homage to our guests who are going to come up in the next segment for us.
Before we go to guests, a couple of things. Do we need to talk about my slump?
Oh, your slump. Oh yeah, I wasn't actually going to bring it up, but now that you so eloquently have related to
I
us.
have a case of the yips.
You have a yips.
I have the yips.
You're like, is it like Maverick in the first Top Gun when he wouldn't get back in the saddle and engage? Is it something like that?
It's pretty close. No, I'm okay. So hockey-wise, I am working really hard. I'm doing drills. I'm watching videos. I'm shooting 100 pucks a day in my garage, and everything's going great with that. And for whatever reason, it's just not translating into goal. Everything else I'm doing well. I feel like I'm playing better on the ice, going around the ice, like I'm doing where I'm supposed to be and whatever. But apologies, fuck me, I cannot score.
What happened today on a particular play when yours truly, you had a 3-on-1, I have the puck, I'm going down my off wing.
Yeah.
And I have our teammate Steve Robinson is backdoor. He's going for our post. And I've got a 3-on-1, so the plan in rec hockey is pass the puck. If somebody's open, pass the puck. Now we were up pretty big. It wasn't like a do or die thing, but I want to get you on the board. So I give you a nice little sauce, backhand sauce, and you handle it sort of like...
Like I don't have hands.
Yeah, like hands of a rapist. Like, you know, not the hands of a gay florist. The hands of a rapist. Like what?
And then so this happened, and then to compound it, Ben's gave me, what did you call it? Curling. It was a draw to the house type level of pass, because I was in good position. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Curling, yes, in curling terms, it was not take out weight. It was draw weight to the house, and you could almost see Slovakia written on the puck. It had slowed down that much for you. So,
and I didn't even. I had 2 whacks at it.
Yeah.
And I missed it.
You didn't have a sniff at a goal here. So we got to get you.
I don't see if that happens. That's the best way for me. Because I'm a good athlete. I was a national level wrestler. Like if you played football with me, soccer, you'd be like, "Oh, that guy's good."
There's a reason
why
I'm good
he
has cauliflower
I have
ears.
no idea why I'm not good at hockey, and it fucking drives. There's something about the stick connection. There's something about it, and it drives me crazy. I'm playing because I'm trying to understand why I'm not good at this game. Maybe it's my age, maybe it's whatever, but God damn it, I just want to score some goals.
You did open up a surf school in Sri Lanka.
I did open up a surf school in Sri Lanka.
Maybe you need to get on there with a puck and a hockey stick and try out your drills on the surfboard and see if it'll translate into Q hockey. I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave Derek for another day.
All that matters is we win. We're gonna win.
Right.
Yes, I got you, buddy. We're gonna win.
Yeah. So on that note, we're going to take a little break and then we'll come back with our 2 fins.
JARKO and JARNO Punta.
Which is quite close to certain Spanish words that we are not going to mention here.
So, hey, while we're on that, I want to talk to you guys about, like, I'm listening to you guys speak. It's like, it almost sounds like Italian. Like, European languages tend to go, like, you have that sort of, like, there's a rolling to it that you don't hear in, like, it's not like Russian, right, where it's very tung, 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 right? So, how would you describe, what is Finnish similar to?
Hungarian. Yeah. We've been talking about a couple of guys from a league bench, for example, and there are lots of similarities within our languages.
So like it's like so Spanish and French can figure each other out. It's the same kind of thing. Like the roots of the words are the same. The endings are a little bit same. Is that how it is?
There are similarities. Yeah.
And the complicated structure of the language is the same.
So
similar.
Yeah.
So why don't we? I start off with JARKO, and this is JARKO Rantakalio. JARKO's been here for a number of years. So JARKO, just give us a little background on when you came to Doha, what brought you to Doha, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having us. I've been here for 10 years now. And while I'm here, I'm working in aviation. I was 17 years with airlines, and I got the opportunity to change to military aviation. Work for a Swiss aircraft manufacturer. We provide the training system for the Air Academy for the armed forces. That's basically why. So 10 years went like this.
So how much hockey did you play before you came to Doha? Did you play much, or you just pick up the game as a novice, shall we say, when you came to Doha, or had you played growing up? What's your story there with regard to hockey?
I almost started playing hockey here, almost. I played one season when I was like 8 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and then I played one season when I lived in France 24 years ago. But we didn't even have a league, we just had practice once a week. And it was funny, me not speaking French, doing practices with the French guys. It was funny. And then I came here, and Juha Kivela said that, if you played hockey back in days, come and join us and try it out. And
shout out to Juha. I think Juha, if you're watching in Bergamo,
yes,
Italy.
He's in Italy now.
Bergamo, Italy. Yeah. I think that's the community or city or town where Juha was a long-lasting member of our league here since 2013 and moved on, I think, to greener pastures probably 2017, I think. So shout out to Juha. And as Jarko mentioned, he was one of the guys that reached out to you when you came here originally. And
Yeah,
played
he
some
started to talk about it, and then it was summertime 2015, and I showed up on some of the shinnies and struggled big time, but signed up for the league, and
10 years
rest is
later,
history.
best,
I
thing you
played
ever, best
2
choice you ever
seasons,
made.
Yeah, first for the Molson Canadians
Yes.
and Oil Kings,
Yes.
and became a captain ever since.
Right. You've been
So,
a captain
so I've
now.
been a captain since 2016.
Yes. So
Wow.
you've been
Wow.
a captain every season now for the last 8 years.
You were a
7,
B
8.
captain as well, right?
Yes,
Because
that-
we were on
that's-
the
Yeah.
same. That's how we
that's
first
how
played
I
together. We
Yeah.
played on a team with Suffers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First it was CNAQ
Yep.
Breakers
Yep.
for a long time until we retired the jerseys, and Silver Surface was born a few years ago.
Yeah, appreciate all that stuff. So,
So,
how
well,
about
so
you?
Jarno, what's your story about? How did you end up here?
Well, I'm first of all I'm in IT, so basically I'm nerd in many ways, and I've been working in IT for a long time, and I was working in Finnish airports for a long time, and then I met my current boss here in Doha, and actually we met in Geneva, one of the happenings there, and one thing just led to another, and finally I found myself here.
So, you're getting into your hockey background. Did you play hockey growing up as a kid in Finland, or did you pick it up later in life?
No, I was playing hockey and football, and I mean football.
You mean
as
us
yeah.
Canadians say soccer?
Yeah, football is football, and
Yes.
soccer is just coming from States.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I played both till I was 14, and then I had to make choice which one. And at that time I was much better in football, so I continued with that and played. I was 16 when I was playing my first game in second highest league in Finland, and ever since I was playing till 24 when my first knee surgery came, and then it kind of rolled all over. And after the fifth surgery round, when I was 33 or something, I stopped playing football and went back, but I didn't went back to ice hockey. I went to this ice ring, what it's called, in Finnish it's a kaukalopallo.
It's like a ring ball.
Ring ball in a playing
Bandy?
in a right.
Not
yeah.
bandy?
Yeah,
So,
but they
and-
play in
and-
hockey.
So like in Finland, do you
Yeah.
guys play that one that's like played on basically like a football side, the really
They
big?
do
No,
that
no,
as well.
with
They
the-
do
with
that.
the-
They
this
do
one-
that as well. But this one
This-
they play in the hockey ring.
Yeah. This one is played in hockey ring with the pole and with the shorter sticks.
Oh, that's the one, Aki.
Yeah, it's really weird one. Yeah.
Aki
This-
Alto
this-
was
yeah,
telling us.
yeah.
about
Is
it.
Finland
Yeah.
also the country where they do, or is that the Netherlands where they do the climb up the pole and then like try and go? Like what are the like? Finland has some weird. Is Finland the wife carrying? What are the
Yes,
the weird?
Well,
Right,
that's the
right,
thing.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
that's
yeah. Only thing is that you have to have pretty light wife
Yeah,
on
right.
that. Otherwise, you will lose.
Yeah.
So I went back to that, and eventually when I came here, the first year I didn't do anything regarding the ice hockey or any sports, and then it was Jarko and Kari. If guys who
Yeah.
have been playing long, Kari was here previously, and Kari started to talk to me at that bring your stuff here and start playing hockey again, and again one thing led to other, and here I am.
Shout out to Kari Koistinen.
Yeah.
Kari, I think Helsinki, is he in Helsinki?
No,
he's in
Prague.
Prague.
Oh, right, he's in Prague.
And Brussels.
Yeah.
I think Finns are probably like Canadians, like very similar in that like when you meet someone new, and you're like very quickly you're like, so you play hockey, and then you're like, hey, and if someone's like, yes, or if you as soon as you meet someone in the Canadian circle, it's very quickly you'll meet somebody that'll be like, hey, so do you play hockey? Do you want to play hockey with us?
Yeah, it's
right.
it's-
You're looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we found over the years that after probably us Canadians, the next highest demographic with regard to hockey players is our Finnish friends.
Yeah.
So is there a correlation between the Finns migrating, immigrating to Doha, to the Middle East? Is there a correlation? Is it something to do with the business, what's going on in Finland? What would you say is the reason why we see so many Finns in Doha in general, and a lot of our guys are playing hockey? So is it something that
There's actually not too many Finns here.
Yeah.
Just two and a half,
Yeah.
300 Finns.
300 max.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
wow.
many of us.
So it
But,
seems like we get a good
we
percentage
get
of
everything.
they come in and play hockey.
Yeah, the thing is that it's like obviously in Canada, same thing is that the ice hockey is the thing in many ways, and lots of guys are playing hockey. So we just happen to be in that situation that those guys who happen to come here.
I guess having the Finnish school brings a number in, right? But whether
Yeah.
or not it's a lot of hockey players, right?
Yeah.
Carl, yes.
Our youngsters.
Yeah, the young guys coming in.
Yeah.
So would you agree then that with regard to the number one sport in Finland, is it ice hockey?
Yes.
By a wide margin, or?
I would say that in the following numbers, I mean, how people react to different sports, ice hockey is the number one in many cases, and it comes through the success that we've had
Right.
in the past years.
Because obviously Finland has been a powerhouse for the world hockey. They won the world championships. They won a couple of IIHF world junior championships. So they're right there. I mean, you look at Canada. We're a big country. Have a lot of population, a lot larger than Finland's. I don't know. What's the population of Finland?
5.6,
5.6 million.
Compared to 30 million, right? In
Yeah.
33 million or something like that in Canada. So we have a lot more pool to draw talent from. So
Yeah.
it's very, very good thing that Finland is a powerhouse.
But I understood, from what I understand about Finnish hockey, is it's structured in a way that like you play for your town. It's very good for like moving through and identifying talent and kind of like finding the I guess in all sports. Like what else? Finland's good at long jumping on skis, right? What are the
Well,
what are
yeah,
the,
Used to be number one, but
So would the second most popular, second most popular sport be Nordic or alpine skiing? Nordic.
I think Nordic.
Not alpine, Nordic skiing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and soccer is fairly popular, or football.
It's-
It's picking up because of the
it's-
success of the
yeah.
national team.
Yeah.
Same with the basketball as well.
Yeah.
The
Right.
national team is doing good, so that is bringing it up
Slowly.
slowly, but
Yeah, but it's all about in for example in football, it's all about those things that the more we have players in European leagues all over the world, and they are playing in top leagues, the better the national team will be, and that's how it goes.
So give us a little insight into, I know it's what I've garnered over the years is that there is a good heated rivalry between Sweden and Finland. Is that correct assessment? Like it's would it be like, would I be correct in equating it to Canada, US in hockey now?
Which
Would it
one?
be
Which one?
similar?
Explain to me. Which one has the lenient booze laws and the really hard? Because isn't there like boats that go across the water and like everybody gets super drunk on these boats because like one country is.
that's true. That's
Which
true.
one is it? Sweden or Finland? They go from Sweden to Finland or Finland to Sweden?
yeah, it's both ways.
It's
Yeah.
both ways.
Both is
Yeah.
full and crazy both ways.
And they're just like
So-
like university kids getting like obliterated for
Yeah.
6 hours on a boat. Yeah.
No, it's 24 hours.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So explain.
Yeah, and it's 24 hours mostly, and the thing is that those cruises are going from a couple of towns in Finland, and they are both going to Stockholm,
Right.
with the capital city of Sweden, and coming back. I mean, the cruises are huge ones, meaning that
So why do they do it? It's cheaper booze or something? Or
cheaper
is it-
to use exactly?
Yeah, you can buy tax-free
Tax-free.
booze and
So once you're on the
cigarettes.
boat,
Yeah.
it's tax free and okay.
Yeah, and it's all about partying.
Yeah.
In many cases, those ones who just go over the border and continues, for example, to Sweden. But most cases, it's just having fun.
I suppose you have to pay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like on the surfers. Time for a shout out. Who is your like unsung hero? Who's your guy that's made like you're like you've been impressed by this season? Who's the person who's been playing above and beyond what you expected of him as a captain?
Colton, being mentioned here
I
before.
think-
Colton is doing a good job.
Yeah.
The thing
He
is
took
that
one off the
Colton
ankle
I
pretty
can
good
use
today.
forward and
He's
as
versatile.
D, so I can use him
He's
anywhere.
very
so
versatile,
he's
yeah.
very useful tool.
And
Yeah.
I think I alluded to it in a recent broadcast when we were on a few weeks ago. We alluded that Colton he kind of fell through the cracks a little bit. I think in the draft he did slip to you probably around 7th or 8th
Yeah, something
round.
like that.
And I think that it was a good bargain for you to get him when you did, because he does offer a lot of versatility
Yeah.
for you. You can like you said, you can play him forward, you can play him on D, and a lot of the time that's what's going to be.
Just kind of an overall competent player. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need that, right?
What I've seen is he's pretty good in partying as well.
Yeah. Who's
And Colton, we were talking about this earlier today. You teach, of course. Colton is a teacher at Blythe Academy. My daughter Dallas goes to Blythe Academy, and Colton's our basketball coach. And Dallas thinks you look like one of the guys on the country group, Dan and Shay. I'm not sure which one, the taller guy. So you probably get that a lot, I'd say.
Right.
So shout out to Dan and Shay, who are hosting on, I think, The Voice now. So my daughter watches that. That's how I know all these things, not me.
So one other thing that maybe you don't know about Jarko is Jarko's a huge metal fan.
Oh, yeah,
he
He
loves
is like,
it.
so
He
he like
loves
travels to like festivals and concerts constantly. He will like go to all of them. Talk a little bit about that. Tell us what's going on. What's your summer plans for this summer?
No, this summer, unfortunately, ACDC is coming to Switzerland, where my real home is. And unfortunately, we couldn't get tickets. We're still checking every morning if there's some new tickets
Really?
coming in. Because I saw ACDC in California in October, and they were amazing. Amazing. I've seen Metallica 10 times. They're solid every time. But ACDC was something.
So what's your
Dream concert?
So what concert do you wish you've seen?
No, Metallica is always good.
But
So
who's an artist that you wish that in the annals of like, have you seen the Stones?
No.
Do you
No,
wish
I
you'd seen the
haven't.
Stones? No, you're more
I've
like
seen what I've
Sabbath. You've seen
wanted.
Sabbath?
No.
Oh, so you're like, what are your top 3?
So what?
But I don't know. ACDC, Iron Maiden is always good.
So like if it was
Metallica.
a music festival and you could pick 3 bands that you would most want to see in any given day at a concert, who would they be? Who would open up for who? Start with who? Then
No, it would be probably Metallica, ACDC, and Iron Maiden.
Right.
I saw them all in October. Back
In California?
Palm Springs, yeah.
so Dan and Shay,
And,
not so much on the list.
Yeah.
Those are
I got
good stuff.
I can mention here that Jesse and Will, who mostly are coming with me to the games, they have all realized that what's happening in Finland and with heavy metal, because it's ACDC always.
Really?
Yeah, is that right? Yeah.
ACDC.
Interesting
Yeah.
fact.
Every time when
Finland
we are driving,
has the most
Yeah.
metal bands
Yeah.
to the population.
Right.
So we have lots of
Yeah.
good bands coming out of Finland.
I'm a big fan of ACDC. I like their early stuff. Dirty Deeds.
Yeah.
Done Dirt Cheap.
Yeah,
Dirty
good stuff.
Deeds and
It's good
Done
stuff.
Dirt Cheap. Yeah, they were.
So you kind of alluded to Colton being your unsung hero guy. You guys are right now kind of 4th place, middle of the row, jockeying for that 4th and final playoff spot with you and the Bashers right now. What do you see has to happen, cohesive unit going forward for the Silver Surfers to compete for that championship in May?
We need Simon. We desperately need Simon to show up.
Simon Graham
Yeah.
from the we talked about that rivalry from Sweden.
Simon, we
Simon
desperately need him back. He should be back next week. So when he makes a big difference.
You know, I would concur. I think you guys, when you guys have him in the fold, you're a different animal. You're a different team when he seems to be. Obviously, Sean, your top offensive guy. Sean McCollum is integral part of you guys' success as well. But I would say the cog, the wheel, so to speak, that makes you guys right there that can compete with any of the teams in the league is when, obviously, a lot of people have their you know, their number one players and stuff. But when you guys have Simon, I think it makes you guys more of a tougher adversary for sure. And he's only played maybe 1-2 games for you.
Is he meant to be
I
playing?
think it was 2 or 3.
He's only played 2 or 3 games, and we're like
and we won
13.
whenever he was showed up.
Yeah,
We won.
we're like 14
So,
games into the season, so we're a little over the halfway point, and you guys sit there. I don't know how many points you guys got. 9 points.
I think it's
No, it's
9.
you guys got 9, and the Bashers have 9.
They're 9 as
Which
well.
is they were kind of Bashers were kind of out of it, right? So
Yeah,
now
2 good
they're
wins this week.
Now they're back in.
Yeah, but
back
it is this mixed league. It is who shows up and who don't.
and
And
you
it
give
makes
us
a
a
mess.
sub.
It's different teams when, you know, we won Bashers. Next game we lost big time, and that's how it works.
What's your schedule coming up? How's it looking for
We
you
are
guys?
playing you guys next week,
Yeah, we haven't
Sunday
beaten you.
and Friday.
So,
So
these guys have beat us
Twice.
twice, right?
Yep.
Fairly handily, like they thumped us, and we were on a bit of a high, and then
Yeah,
we
we
got
won you
thumped
2
by
times in the
guys.
same week.
They gave us a little bit of modest pie, I think. You know,
We were
like,
feeling pretty good about ourselves, and
Just
then
check
we were
that
like,
for
oh.
a second now. Don't get too carried away, and they put the beating on us a couple of times.
But
So-
that's how it is who shows up. And the thing is that we hardly never go below 10, so that I could cover up for Simon or Sean
Yeah.
when they're off. So that's a bit of the issue this season. But it's all about having fun. Really. So
Do you see the Kings continuing their dominance to the end of the regular season? Do you think it might come back to bite them in the playoffs on their current
playoffs,
road?
because there you are not allowed to take subs, so that might bite them. Last season as well, they played playoffs with 7 games.
Really?
2D was the first. I think on the first playoff game they played with 2Ds,
Right.
and that's what it's going to be.
Who do
But
you
they
feel-
are tough. They are tough. They're a
Who
good
is the
team.
biggest
Very good
challenger
team.
in your mind if you had to pick one team right now that you could see them knocking off the Kings in a series,
No,
a short series?
you guys being strong,
Yeah.
You have a good chance to challenge them.
We just
But it
gotta-
all comes down to playoffs. On the regular season, they're so low, they can always pick up decent players. It's going to be hard.
So we're gonna
It's gonna
send
be
this
hard.
out to the Finnish teachers board and getting teachers to that Finnish school. So what do you want in Finnish? Tell these Finnish teachers that are all sitting there playing hockey back home and wanting a job. Tell them why they should come to Qatar, right?
More colleagues, more Finnish colleagues coming. So.
Yeah.
What have you got for advice for anybody in
I'm
Finnish?
sure actually in the Finnish school, I'm sure there's more guys who played some hockey somewhere in their life who could join us.
Right.
But it's just about how to get them. We have to talk with Kalle
There's
and
a
Jesse
guy.
to
There's
do
a
some
guy.
recruitment.
There's a
Yeah.
Canadian guy I know named Ernie Burst. Ernie, I'm calling you out, and he's been here for about 4 years, and I'm sure he played like a decent. He's a Nova Scotian. I'm sure he's played a decent level of hockey, and he's just kind of not sure to get. If we get those guys coming out, like
Yeah.
you know, and I was talking to Kyle on the way in. I think this is for men here in this country. It is actually an important thing to have this in your it makes you happy.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
it is definitely.
It's I would even raise it to the mental level. It's a huge mental thing for everyone else.
Yeah. And I'd like to mention now that we're talking about that, the release that we get, everybody has the stressors of work and family commitments throughout the season. It's a great, stress relief to get out to the rink with the guys on a weekly basis, even more. We get out 3-4 times a week sometimes playing hockey with the guys. Is great. And a shout out to Krista McInnes, Jim McInnes' wife, who's got our social WhatsApp group going, and they recently had a little brunch last week, I believe, the first one or the last one before the Ramadan break, which is what we're on now. So shout out to Krista, keep doing the good work on the social aspect of things. It keeps us all waiting to the next time that we can get together for some libations and tomfoolery, whatever you want to do. It's
Exactly.
great to have stuff like that to look forward to outside of hockey as well.
So on that, we'll leave it for the week. Anything anybody wants to say before we lead her out? Greg, what's the?
Surfers, I think you're up for us. So
till we play you, keep your head up, stick on the ice.